The last time I made a video, Manchester United had just lost to West Ham and we were on the road to the Europa League final. And everyone was telling us to calm down and not to have a meltdown about the fact that Manchester United had lost, I think that should have been 4 games in a row. So people told us, no, calm down. We have the Europa League final. The only reason the players are playing horribly is because we have the Europa League final. So they want to fight for the Europa League final. So they're not playing 100%. They don't want to get injured. That's why we're playing kids. So listen, let's all calm down. Fast forward, ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United played Tottenham in the Europa League final, and Manchester United lost the Europa League final to Tottenham. So basically, everything that we have been doing prior to the Europa League final was in vain. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Football with Priscilla. I'm Priscilla, obviously. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, today I just want us to talk about the Manchester United versus Tottenham game, in which we saw Manchester United lose to Tottenham and the aftermath of Manchester United's loss of the Europa League Cup. But before we get into the video for today, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post a video. Guys, having watched the whole world have a meltdown on Wednesday when Manchester United lost to Tottenham, it's been a rough couple of days, I can't lie. And I was like, I've seen people react, and I was like, hey, I think it's time for me to personally pour out my heart because, listen, oh my God, I was broken. I can't lie. I was absolutely broken. So let's talk about it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just like we always do for every game, when we want to talk about the match, we're going to go with, first of all, the lineups. So this is the team that Tottenham fielded in for the final. In goal, we had Vicario. At the back, we had Poro. We had Romero. We had Van de Ven. We had Udogi. Midfield, we had Benteke or Bentaka. I don't know how to pronounce the name. We also had Besuma. Up front, we had Johnson, Sarr, and Richarlison. And then just in front of them, we had Solanke, who, by the way, I think Solanke, players for me like Solanke and what's that guy's name? Watkins from Aston Villa. I admire such players who are able to fight even if they're up front alone. Like, for them, one man up front doesn't matter to them. Like, they will fight for every ball. And we saw in the final how Solanke was willing to chase every ball, how he was being a nuisance against Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro and Mazarawi and Luke Shaw and the like. So for me, as a player like Solanke, I like players like that agitate the defense. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here are the players that Manchester United fielded in. Our goalkeeper was Andre Onana. Backline, we had Lenny Yoro, Maguire, and Shaw. Then on our midfield, we had Mazarawi, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Dorgu. Obviously, Dorgu and Mazarawi playing in the wings. And then up front, we had Ahmad. And you see, this is what broke me. Like, this one, I looked at the team sheet, and I literally told my sister, we're losing this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, up front, we had Ahmad and Mason Mount. We'll get back to that. And then just in front of them, we had Rasmus Højlund. Now, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, Maxwell. Hi, Maxwell, in case he watches this. Leave a comment, Maxwell, if you watch this. Okay, so I was having a conversation with Maxwell. So I posted on my WhatsApp status. I'm like, in what professional coach plays Mason Mount in a final as a starter? That was my status. It was in those lines. Then Maxwell, my friend, responded to say, I guess it's the vibe from, is it the Atletico Bilbao game? And I was like, so that's what we're doing. We are playing vibes. And he wasn't wrong. Because honestly, that's the only reason why Amorim, ladies and gentlemen, would play Mason Mount. Now, off the cuff, I'm going to say this confidently. Ruben Amorim cost us that final. And I know people will be like, oh, the players did not give their 100%. The players were not intense. The players were playing horribly. I do not disagree. In fact, I agree 100%. Two things, ladies and gentlemen, can be right at the same time. Two things can be correct at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. The first thing is that players were horrible. We need to sell the lot, all of them. Probably for me, I'll leave out like I'll leave out Mino. Yeah, I'm leaving out Mino and Bruno Fernandes partially. And Ahmad, to be honest. Yes, these three, the rest can go. Okay, and Lenny Euro. Anyway, the other thing that is true, and I think that's the most true about this game, is that Ruben Amorim cost us the game. Because in what world? First of all, by the way, the previous games that Manchester United played, okay, we never had Luke Shaw, neither did we have Mount anywhere in those games. Now, Luke Shaw, I get, maybe, probably we didn't have anyone in the defense, okay, but what's our excuse for Mason Mount? We had been playing leading up to the final Garnacho. We did not play Garnacho, right? We put in Mason Mount because he scored 2 goals for a game that he was the best in for the whole entire season. Mason Mount was only good in that one game, and that one game is what gave Ruben Amorim the inkling to be like, okay, let me put him in this game. Like how? Ganacho after the game tweeted to say, I have been playing all these past 2 games, and then in the final, I play 30 minutes. I don't think that makes sense. Now, listen, apparently Ganacho and Ruben Amorim are going at it, and news reports have come out recently that Ruben Amorim has told Garnacho that he can leave. Now, this is coming off of the fact that the club says they are not getting rid of Ruben Amorim and they are backing Ruben Amorim. Apparently, aftermath, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the aftermath. The aftermath is now finally that some players are not comfortable with Ruben Amorim's 3-4-3 system. And obviously, one of those players is Garnacho. Do you blame him? I don't. No matter for how horrible Garnacho was in the Premier League, for how horrible and selfish he was, the kid played every single game leading up to the Europa League final, and Amorim was like, no, I'm going to play this one guy who's played in one game where he showed us his quality, which there is no quality because of vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one consistent in most of my videos. I will forever ask this question because no one has ever given me a correct answer. Why on earth, okay? Why on God's green earth did we buy Mason Mount? For what? For what? It absolutely does not make sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are my thoughts on the game. Anyway, I know, here are my thoughts. The first thing, like I said, I think Amorim cost us the game. The second thing, ladies and gentlemen, we were very slow, we were very lethargic. Tottenham were running, Tottenham were intense. Manchester United were, I don't know if they were nervous, I don't know if they were scared, I don't know if there was so much pressure, but for players who we were resting, okay, and players who we gave a leeway to say, okay, even if we lose, we're resting them for the final. They showed absolutely nothing to indicate that they were being rested. One would think those players have been playing each and every week 130 minutes. 130 minutes, 90 minutes plus extra half. Kaz was not running. Fernandez could not control the game. Ahmad, oh my god, Ahmad was absolutely horrible, horrendous. Like, if we had to do player ratings, Ahmad gets 0 out of 10. Rasmus Højlund, -5 out of 10. And the funny thing is, we can't even blame Onana because what did Onana not do? I mean, he should have at least found a way to keep that ball from getting into the net. But then I would give Onana 1 out of 10 because he did not perform. Like, he did not Onana us, right? He was very much locked in, very much disciplined. But for everyone else, I think the only players that played well were Lenny Yoro and Dogu. Honestly, the rest offered us absolutely nothing. Substitutions came in. Garner came in. Mount and who's this? Is it Ahmad? Were removed, and then Mino and Dalot at a certain point, as well as Ugarte came in. Why we did not see Ugarte earlier on, I have no idea. Why we did not see Mino earlier on, I have no idea. So the players were lethargic for me. The game was poor, and the selection of the players was poor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've scoured the internet and everyone has told you what went wrong in that game. So I'll not go into that because I think we all know. In conclusion, for me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very new. This is a new feeling that I've experienced because when we had Mourinho, when we had what's his name, wow, not Rasmus Hoyland. When we had Ole, when we had Ralph Ragnick, when we had Eric Ten Hag, I backed all those managers. Sorry, but today I can safely say Ruben Amorim out. R-A-O. R-A-O. I'm Ruben Amorim out. Honestly, for Eric Ten Hag last season, we were horrible. At least we finished top of the table and we won the FA Cup. And we're like, yes, in. But what warrants anybody to say Ruben Amorim in? Would you even blame anyone who's saying Ruben Amorim out? No. I've given up on the guy. I just don't think he's the coach for Manchester United. And oh my God, I would love to be proved wrong. I would love to be proved wrong. But for me, no. I gave up on Ruben Amorim. A coach of his caliber picked such a horrible team in a final. A coach of his caliber had us finishing in the Premier League in 16th place with 39 points. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. But what exactly has Ruben Amorim done to indicate that he will be better next season? Absolutely nothing. So why are we keeping him? Why can't we fire him? Why can't we get a new coach? Okay, have a preseason with the new coach. Let the new coach have his new players, and then we move. Because honestly, Ruben Amorim, I have a feeling November he's gone. Gone. Then we start looking for an interim, and it's the same toxic cycle. So, ladies and gentlemen, no Europa League next season, no Champions League next season. Absolutely nothing. And we're still keeping the coach that has helped us in no way whatsoever. And people will be like, no, Priscilla, he came halfway season, blah, blah. How is it possible that Manchester United never ever had a new manager bounce? Like, how hard is it for our club that even our players can't have a new manager bounce? It's absolutely ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United play Aston Villa tomorrow. I think it's the last game of the season and every other team will be playing. Tottenham will have their spirits high. Oh my gosh, I just know White Hart Lane will be amazing. Like the atmosphere there will just be great. Old Trafford, on the other hand, is going to be crazy. I wonder if that stadium will be fully packed. Like, I honestly wonder. If I were there, I wouldn't have gone. No. To do what? For what? What have any of those players and the coach done for us this season? Do you know how many jabs? Do you know how much banter we've had to take in for supporting and trusting those players? Personally, I wouldn't go. But hey, for those that wish to go, good on you. You guys have the money and the passion. For me, hell no. For me, tomorrow, after the players are done, straight down the tunnel. Don't clap. Don't clap for the fans. Just go home, guys. Like, the players, my encouragement, you finish the game. Hopefully you don't lose. Hopefully you give us a game. And oh my God, do not play any better. Because then everyone will be like, so where was this when we were losing? For me personally, I'll suggest we play the kids. Let's play the kids. The senior players, no. Let the senior players start their resting tomorrow. Like, they shouldn't be there. And if they are there, don't clap when the game ends, when you lose, or when you win 2-0. Please, after the game ends, just politely go down the tunnel. Is my advice for those players. Just go down the tunnel. Let us heal, and then we start again next season. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that's what I had for you guys today. Do comment down in the comment section. Do you think it was a good idea for Manchester United to keep Ruben Amorim and say that they are backing him? Or is it time for us to look for another coach? I would love to hear all your thoughts. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post the video. Bye, guys.